Every single day, TSA confiscates thousands of items from carry-on bags at airports across the country. Most of those items aren't weapons. They're toiletries, food, electronics, and everyday items that passengers assumed were fine, because nobody told them the rules had changed or that the rules were different from what they thought. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what TSA's 2026 rules say about your carry-on, what gets taken, what clears without issue, and the specific items that trigger a bag search every single time. Starting with the one most travelers get completely wrong. This video covers the complete TSA carry-on rules for 2026, and honestly, for anyone who still finds airport security confusing. We're going step by step, liquids, size limits, electronics, prohibited items, and the rules you may have missed. We'll also cover how to avoid confiscation and what to do if you're asked to remove an item. Let's start with the one rule that causes more confiscations than any other. The 311 rule governs every liquid, gel, cream, paste, and aerosol in your carry-on. Here's what it means exactly. Each container must hold 3.4 ounces or less. That's 100 milliliters. All of those containers must fit into one clear, quart-sized Ziploc bag, and each passenger is allowed one of those bags. That's it. The mistakes passengers make, thinking a little over 3.4 ounces is probably fine, it's not. TSA's rule is by container size, not by how full it is. A 4-ounce bottle that's half empty still gets confiscated. Thinking their reusable silicone bottles are fine? They are, as long as each one holds 3.4 oz or less. And thinking a quart-sized bag means roughly a bag this big, TSA officers can and do reject overstuffed bags at the checkpoint. The 311 bag must zip closed. If it doesn't close, it doesn't pass. You may have heard that TSA is rolling out CT scanners that let passengers leave liquids and laptops in their bags, no more unpacking at the belt. This is real, and it's happening. But here's the critical detail. CT scanners are only fully deployed at a fraction of US airports as of 2026. The majority of security lanes at most airports still use standard X-ray. Unless you see a sign at your specific lane indicating CT scanning is in use and SA officers confirm it, assume the 311 rule applies in full and your laptop comes out. The safest approach, pack as if the standard rules apply everywhere. If your airport has CT scanning, the officer will tell you to leave everything in your bag. If they don't say anything, your bag comes out. TSA does not enforce bag size, airlines do. But this rule still belongs in this video because getting caught with an oversized carry-on at the gate sends your bag to the hold and costs you time and sometimes money. The standard overhead carry-on limit across most major US airlines is 22 x 14 x 9 inches, including wheels and handles. Your personal item, which goes under the seat, is typically 18 x 14 x 8 inches or smaller. In 2026, airlines have increased enforcement of these limits. Spirit, Frontier, and several budget carriers now use physical bag sizers at the gate, and enforcement is no longer discretionary at a growing number of airports. The rule: measure your bag before you arrive. If it's borderline, check it at home, not at the gate. Now here's the category that sends the most bags to secondary screening, and most of the items in it aren't dangerous at all. They just look that way on an X-ray. At standard X-ray lanes, laptops must be removed from your bag and placed flat in a separate bin, by themselves, not stacked under your jacket or water bottle. Tablets larger than a standard paperback book must also come out. Phones, e-readers, small tablets, and smartwatches can stay in the bag. Power banks and external battery packs must be in your carry-on, not your checked bag. This is in FA rule, not TSA discretion. Lithium batteries above 100W are prohibited in checked luggage entirely. Most consumer power banks fall under the limit, but large capacity ones, anything marketed as laptop charging capable at 26,800 mAh or above, must be checked against the W rating on the label. When in doubt, put it in your carry-on. And one that catches people, drone batteries. They are lithium, they are high capacity, and they frequently get flagged at security. Know the wattage rating before you pack. Yes, food gets flagged at security. The reason? Thick, dense, or gel consistency foods are difficult for X-ray machines to image clearly. They appear on the screen similarly to liquids or explosive materials, which prompts officers to pull the bag for inspection. The specific foods that trigger searches most frequently, peanut butter and nut butters, these are classified as a gel by TSA and subject to the 3.4 oz limit if in carry-on. Hummus, Guacamole, salsa, and dips, same classification. Jams, preserves, and yogurt, same. Solid food, sandwiches, fruit, granola bars, chips, nuts, clears without issue. The rule of thumb, if you can spread it, it's a gel. If you can eat it whole, it's a solid. Solid food travels in carry-on. Spreadable food goes in checked luggage or is purchased airside. Some items cannot be in your carry-on under any circumstance. The ones passengers forget most often, full-size sporting goods like baseball bats, golf clubs, ski poles, hockey sticks, all checked baggage only. Sharp objects, box cutters, straight razors, and most knives prohibited entirely. Note, disposable razors and safety razors are permitted in carry-on. Firearms and ammunition, checked baggage only, in a hard-sided locked case declared at check-in. No exceptions. Flammable items, lighter fluid, strike anywhere matches, aerosol spray paint, prohibited in both carry-on and checked bag. And, one that surprises travelers, gel-type candles. If it's a gel consistency, it follows the liquid rule in carry-on and is outright prohibited in certain sizes. TSA's full prohibited items list is at tsa.gov, bookmark it. If you're ever unsure about a specific item, TSA's Ask TSA service on X responds within minutes. If this is already changing how you pack for your next flight, hit subscribe. AirWise HQ does this every week, the actual rules of air travel, explained clearly, so you never lose anything at a checkpoint or get caught off guard at the gate. 2 more rules to go, including the one about your ID that's catching people completely off guard in 2026. As of May 2025, Real ID enforcement is fully in effect at U.S. airport security checkpoints. Here's what that means for your carry-on and your ID. To board a domestic flight, your ID must be Real ID compliant. A Real ID compliant driver's license has a star in the upper right corner. If your license doesn't have that star, and many older licenses don't, it is no longer accepted at airport security. What is accepted instead? A U.S. passport, a U.S. passport card, a DH Trusted Traveler card, Global Entry, Nexus, Sentry, a military ID, or a permanent resident card. If you show up at security with a non-compliant license and no alternative ID, SA will not wave you through. You will miss your flight. Check your license right now. If there's no star, get your Real ID at the DMV or travel with your passport until you do. TSA PreCheck gives you access to a dedicated security lane where you do not remove your shoes, laptop, liquids, or light jacket. You walk through a standard metal detector rather than a full body scanner. Average PreCheck wait times are under 5 minutes versus 20-30 minutes in standard lanes at major hubs during peak hours. The cost, $78 for a 5-year membership. The application is online at universalenroll.dhs.gov. You'll submit basic personal information and then complete a brief in-person appointment at an enrollment center, which takes about 10 minutes. Approval typically comes within 3-5 days, and your known traveler number is added to your TSA profile and linked to your airline bookings. One important 2026 note, PreCheck enrollment was temporarily suspended earlier this year during the government shutdown. Enrollment has resumed as of late March 2026. Check the DS website for current availability at enrollment centers near you. And here's one last item that almost nobody thinks about, but it's the reason thousands of passengers have their bags completely unpacked at the checkpoint every month. It has nothing to do with what's in the bag, it's how it's packed. X-ray machines read density and shape. When a carry-on is packed densely with overlapping items, cables tangled together, multiple electronics stacked, dense clothing wrapped around hard objects, the X-ray image looks cluttered and unclear. TSA calls this a bird's nest image. Officers are trained to pull bags where they cannot clearly identify individual items on the screen. The solution? Pack your carry-on in layers. Electronics and cables on one side, flat. Clothing folded neatly. Liquids bag accessible at the top, nothing crossed over nothing. This isn't just about getting through security faster. A clearly organized bag takes under 30 seconds to image and clear. A disorganized bag can lead to a full manual inspection that takes 10 minutes and makes you the person everyone behind you is watching. Pack it like you want an X-ray of it to look clean, because someone will be looking at one. 8 rules: liquids, size limits, CT scanners, electronics, food, prohibited items, Real ID, TSA PreCheck, and the packing pattern that gets bags searched every time. None of this is complicated once you know it. And now you know all of it. The next time you pack a carry-on, you know exactly what clears, what gets taken, and how to move through security like someone who does this every week. Subscribe to AirWise HQ. This is exactly what we do. Every rule, every update, everything the airline and airport assume you already know, broken down clearly so you always fly with confidence. And drop a comment below. Have you ever had something confiscated at security that surprised you? I read every single one. See you on the next one.